Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, hello!
Hi.
Okay.
We didn't see you there.
We did not.
Hello. We are part of the team from Dungeons and Distancing. My name is Nikki Haggart. I'm the co-creator and I play Becky.
I'm Alex. I play, no, I'm Brett. I play Alex. Don't get confused.
Just getting so in character. I'm Annie. I'm also the other co-creator, I guess. It's weird to say co-creator. I guess that works. And I play Janet.
And today we're going to be doing the D&D tag. So this is a thing I saw going around YouTube, originally made by Ginny D. And I actually saw it, I saw our friend Denny do it on Dicely D&D. So we thought it would be fun to answer these questions. We're kind of the people on the show that do play D&D. Fun fact, we kind of cast it in reverse order kind of how much we play D&D. So you're probably the most experienced. And I believe Tanisha, who plays Casey, our DM, has never played a game in her life. So yeah, I think this will be fun. All right, so the first question is, what was your first D&D character?
Mine was a human wizard named Fladno. I went super classic, blue starry robes, long white beard. I was 10 and I just kind of wanted to be a Merlin Gandalf, and that's what I did.
Do you remember why you named him Fladno?
Yes, I do. It's because at the time I was not good at coming up with names. I'll start with that. And so what I did is I took the name Gandalf, flipped some letters around, and changed some of the letters until I arrived at Fladno.
Very good.
That's so cute.
How about you, Annie?
My first character was a half-elf paladin named Anarchus. Surprise, surprise. And she was very boring because she was lawful good. And she just believed in the power of Thor, and she went to paladin school. And at that paladin school, they all worked out and lifted weights.
So she was ripped.
Yeah, here's the hoping she was.
I think the first character I ever played was Liddy the Rogue for one session I filled in one of your games.
That's technically true, yeah. And actually, Liddy was a sorcerer.
She was a sorcerer?
Yeah. Remember, because you fought a lot of magic-resistant creatures, and you were one of the only people who was able to functionally do anything to them.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But what was the first character you created?
Well, I mean, I created her with Brett, and so she was a sorcerer halfling. And then my next one was an early version of Carrot, who is still my main, who is a halfling ranger. I mostly believe made her a ranger because I wanted her to have a reindeer companion, because I made her while I was on tour playing a reindeer, so I thought that was fun.
So you didn't want to be Carrot, you wanted to be a reindeer.
I had reindeer brain. Yeah, and so my first two characters were halflings and then a gnome, and I've only kind of recently opened myself up to the possibility of playing a character that's taller than me.
Oh, yes, that is very interesting. I never thought of it that way, but that is, yeah. You've been playing a lot of short characters.
I sure have. Represent. All right, so the second one is, which D&D class is your least favorite to play, or do you not want to play?
I could go first.
Yeah.
It's not that I openly hate this class, but I never want to be a warlock. Just by process of elimination, because I want to play all the other characters first, and I just feel like I'll never get to warlock.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no class that I am opposed to. I think I would have to come up with something really interesting if I wanted to be a barbarian, just because that's not typically, like, the typical archetype for barbarian is not something I'm like super drawn to. So I'd have to come up with some kind of like subversion. I'm not a regular barbarian, I'm a cool
short.
Barbarian.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, a short barbarian. That's duh.
I hate monks. I hate them. I think they have no appeal. I have no desire to hit anything with my bare hands. I think it's gross. I don't understand ki in the context of this world. Is it magic? Is it connection to the universe? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Too ambiguous.
Fair. I like that we were all like, it's not that we don't like them, but for me, and you're like, nah, man.
I can find value or personal interest in every single other class. I would strike monks from the rule book given half a chance.
I am very confused about monks. I'm like, but you fight, but you should only pick one, because then you won't be good at either. So
all right. What D&D spell would you most want to have in real life? I feel like you probably have lots of opinions on this.
Yeah, well, the one I would probably, like, I've thought about it because flying would be wonderful, turning people into frogs would be fantastic, etc. But like, if we're talking just like straight up functionality, I'd have to go with dominate person. The Imperious
All right.
bitch, like
All right.
that or suggestion, which like is just, like discount, like
yeah.
locale, dominate person, so it's like less useful, but also probably I wouldn't be sussed out as quickly for having the ability to force people to do what I wanted them to.
Easier to explain to the police.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd never have to take public transit again. You could point at some car, dominate person, drive me wherever I want to go. You're getting everything you want all the time because you can just make people give it to you.
Well, speaking of that, like we've kind of talked about this a lot. Like, I just want to be able to teleport places. So like, yes, teleportation circle, but that requires
straight up teleport.
Straight up, if we can choose any. Like, I'm trying not to be greedy, but yeah, that's what I want. That'd be freaking sick. Like, yeah.
I feel like I've reached a point in my life where I've stopped being practical and I just want things because it's fun. Because if you asked me this 5 years back, I would have been like, yeah, like charm person or whatever, like just something super useful. But the two things that I thought of immediately when you asked that question was, I was like, oh, communicate with animals would be cool, because I've always wondered what my cat would be saying all the time, and I would only use it on my cat. It's not like I would go out there and go look for animals to communicate with.
I would to choose a superpower, and you chose small talk.
And the other one I thought about immediately is like, I would love prestidigitation, just to cause chaos. Brett is like, no, I have lost all hope for you.
If you would have communicate. If you had communicate with animals, the first thing I would want you to ask your cat, Fiona, is, why don't you like Nikki? What did she ever do to you?
She's gonna be like, I can answer that. She's gonna be like, bitch, I don't like anybody.
That's fair. That's fair. Just so grumpy. What a grumpy girl.
But she's adorable. She started sleeping in my face so that I would be super allergic in the morning. And we just have a really great time.
Well, in that case, I'm sold. You jumped around for me. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite D&D monster?
I can't even think of a Gorgon. Do they exist in D&D?
Yes, they do.
I think those are the coolest.
I just like that so many of them are just giant versions of regular animals. I think that's always my favorite. It's just like, it's it's a snake, but it's a giant snake, so now it's magical. Kill it. I like that.
I choose night hags, one, because of the witch aesthetic, and we know that's a thing for me, but two, they're also just prudent business women. Like, these are strong, self-made people trading in souls. Like, you gotta respect somebody with that acumen.
Yeah, I'm actually very terrified of beholders.
Yeah.
I just don't like giant body parts that like don't belong in bodies floating around. I don't like it.
Why doesn't I need eye stalks? That's so extra. All right, what's your favorite NPC or villain that you've ever encountered or created?
I think my favorite NPC has to be that, I think it was a gnome, or was it a goblin that Brett created?
Oh, like the accountant one?
Yes.
Merchant?
The very like repeats everything and writes and the moment.
This is the one you were talking about. This is the guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The moment I realized I really loved that character is because that one time they were like, "What is your name?" or whatever. I forget. But he was like still muttering. So I was just like, Jane. And then he's like muttering. I'm like, Jane. And then he's like muttering. I'm like, Jane. Because I wasn't sure if he was hearing me. But then Brett was just like, Jane. And I was like, you're my favorite.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit, but because this was not D&D, this was when I was playing Aegon recently, which is a Greek myth-based one. But we made this great little arc for this character named Todd, and it was like such a typical like. This was supposed to be a throwaway NPC, but then we like adopted him because we liked him. He had an Australian accent in the middle of ancient Greece, of course. We took him with him. He almost died. We gave him the elixir of immortality, so now he's immortal. He eventually becomes king of a small island and invents democracy hundreds of years ahead of time. So like it was great. And I love Todd very much.
Aww.
My favorite was, I made her Adrian de Montague. So she's just what I wanted to be in real life. She was like this noble-born sorceress lady who was very seductive and sex-forward, it has to be admitted. And using her, I nearly broke up the two people who were dating in my game. Just like, because their names were, actually I won't use their real names, but the characters were Eowyn and Joffrey. So I know, this was before Game of Thrones became popular, so it was not. It was
like, Joffrey does not deserve love.
It was not that. So basically Adrian ended up boning Joffrey of an evening. And Eowyn was like, I don't care, it doesn't bother me, I don't care. And then a couple adventures later, when they encountered this real like swashbuckling, suave character, I was narrating, and Eowyn was looking across the table at Joffrey going, so yeah, Adrian was my favorite.
Because she's an instigator.
Has one of your characters ever died, and what killed them? One of my characters has never died, but Daisy has. My reindeer companion has died at least twice now, which is not a big deal because you can bring him back, but it's still sad. And I was really mad when it happened the first time because she got hit with an aging spell and aged like 30 years. And we're like, oh no, now she's super old. And then we're like, wait, what is the life expectancy for reindeers? And it's like 20 years. So the DM was like, she's dead. I'm sorry. She's aged to death. I'm like,
no, poor Daisy.
Ours was fine. She came back.
She did. She came back.
That's really funny that you named your reindeer Daisy, because throughout time, I've had a history of naming all my mounts Daisy.
Oh, really?
Oh. Yeah, like no matter what character, no matter which horse, or whatever, like I've always named them Daisy. Like if one dies, I get a new horse, Daisy.
Why not riding cows?
It's It's funny because actually our first session in this campaign, you know, we were all going around and you know, introducing our characters, and I have a reindeer named Daisy, and the DM's like, oh, okay. And it turned out he'd already had a prominent NPC named Daisy, who was a halfling who got turned into a troll. So it was his troll named Daisy. So every now and then we're like, oh, like, remember like Daisy? And it's like very confusing. Like we've got like, I call her Big Daisy, and which makes my Daisy Little Daisy, even though she's like cute. 2 sizes bigger than me.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Have one of your characters ever died?
Yeah, a few.
Oh my.
Yeah, well, Fladno was eventually killed at 7th level, I think, by a black dragon. Okay. So yeah, basically was dropped in a vat of acid, and that was the end of Fladno. I know. But he came back. Like I played a different incarnation of him, but yeah, right. He did die. And also, there was a person I was playing with in high school, and this DM was like selfish and incompetent to the point of distraction. Love you. Nope, we're not gonna go there. Love you. Anyway, and he pulled a TPK, killing my tiefling wizard Dulcimara, and then blamed the party for it. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my. I don't think any of my characters have ever died.
We should change that.
Because yeah, I mean, Jane could, you know, go through something, but Anarchist is like a legend now. I think the closest Anarchist ever came to dying was like getting her soul sold to an imp without her knowledge, because there was a warlock in the party, a tiefling warlock, who like made a pact with an imp, and then the imp wanted to use the soul for the transaction, and then the warlock was like, well, I don't want to. How about the paladin soul? And the imp was like, I'll take it. So it was like without Anarchist's consent or knowledge that her soul was sold. And when she was trying to ascend because she was graduating from paladin school, she couldn't because she was soulless.
I want to know more about the logistics of this universe where you can sell another person's soul without their, not only their consent, but their knowledge.
Yeah,
I know, it's crazy.
Very bad form on that imp's part.
Yeah, but it was like, you know, it was, Anarchist has become a legend because I left that campaign like a long time ago, and like the group kept on playing, and apparently they turned it into a quest where they have to like go, like the Anarchist was like this legend or something, and they had to go like in search of her soul to like restore it.
Which I like, just like in universe means like Anarchist was like, you did this, you go figure it out. I'm not coming with you. Go fetch my soul, idiot.
Yep.
All right. What's your best Nat 20 story?
Oh, I don't have any. I don't think I have any.
This one isn't particularly exciting, but the first time in my life that I ever cast the spell Scorching Ray, I got a nat 20, so that was exciting because I liked that spell.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I'm sure I've rolled it. But usually it's just like you crit, and you know, nothing exciting happens except that we kill something.
Did Gunferda not get a nat 20 when y'all were in the airship?
Oh, did I? Oh, yes!
Because I don't think I would have permitted that without a nat 20.
Yeah, that's it. No, it must have been, because that was stupid. Yeah. It was like we were falling, if you recall, from, the airship.
Right.
It had been, oh my gosh, my armpits are so sweaty. It had been like torn open, like it
was like a balloon. It was like basically a blimp with a ship hanging off of it.
Yeah, it was like, so I like managed to get on there, and I'm like, Misty stepped up. Thank you for remembering, because apparently I don't. And I was like, can I just grab hold of both holes?
Oh yeah,
and, like,
I remember
put them together, like you know, like enough for at least kind of make us descend, you know, slow enough that we don't all die. And yeah, you're like, roll strength, I guess. And that's right. I did end up saving everyone like that, so I must have rolled a nat 20. Yeah.
Well done.
Strength is not considered a strong suit.
I do recall that. That was really funny.
On that note, does anyone have any good nat 1 stories?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was get the exact layout of this dungeon. I was playing my current main, Tabitha, human wizard, and we were in this sort of narrow stone passageway, and you were able to climb up the walls and sort of stand on these platforms on the side. So I spent several rounds trying to climb the wall because I couldn't hit anything from where I was standing at the bottom and at the back. So it took me probably 4 rounds to finally scrabble up this wall with my strength of 8. And then once at the top, I shot a firebolt at whatever we were fighting. And because I rolled a nat 1, the DM ruled that the blast or the force of the spell leaving my body was such that it sent me off balance and knocked me back down the wall again.
That must have been frustrating for Tabitha.
I screamed, Brett screamed, Tabitha and Brett screamed in harmony.
In that moment, they were one.
She lives here, right here.
Yeah. Again, I don't think I have any like crazy. Usually I fail at athletics or acrobatic checks or something like that. But that's the most I remember from it.
Yeah, I can't think of specifically nat 1s. I do remember when we had started the Eberron campaign.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, for once I was like the most experienced player, which never happens. And so it was like real, you know, like excited to like show them how it's done. And like I went like, you know, for the first like 2 hours of the session, it was great. And then just like my rolls, my dice stopped working. They ran out of juice, or I don't know, an imp took their soul, and I just couldn't roll for shit.
Oh,
like, no. And just like everyone was making fun of me by the end because like my little warforged is swinging his weapons, not hitting anything. Like,
oh no! Maybe if he like extended his arms.
Yeah, maybe it was that he was doing. I'm not used to playing tall characters. I don't. All right. What's the highest level you've ever played a character to?
Level 5, I believe. But it took like 5 years. I don't know why it took so long. It seems like it doesn't make sense.
How often were you playing?
Like once a week.
Y'all?
Once a week and you got to
yeah. But I think the DM might have been, I don't know. I felt like we were working really hard and wasn't getting a lot of XP out of it. Maybe that's what was happening.
You know y'all are level 6 in the campaign when we play together, right?
Are we?
It's been a hot second to do that.
Holy moly. Maybe? No, that can't be. Unless
that's the highest level you've ever gotten to is level 6.
Level 6, yay! Are we going to resume that campaign? I miss it.
Oh yeah, we are. I just, you know, I don't know how to use computers, so we gotta wait till I can be in the same room as everybody. Also, like Nikki and I are playing in a very good online game, but like the DM is very savvy with this kind of thing, and I think I'd end up just ripping out both my hair and my teeth if I had to do what he does.
We just see like, you know, like stuff passing through the camera because you're throwing it out the window.
Yes. You somehow managed to toss like the map on Roll20. Like you managed to overturn it somehow.
This should be a flip the table option.
Yeah, it's 9 for me too. Right now we're 9th level. What's your favorite magical item?
Oh.
Brett, go ahead.
Necklace of fireballs.
The what?
the necklace of fireballs. It's got, depending on which incarnation of the necklace you have a select number of beads on the necklace. And when you want to pull off those beads and have them be fireballs, you can do that.
That's classic.
Nice.
I don't know what my favorite is. I just got a wand of biscuit gloves. You gave me a wand of biscuit gloves, and I'm pretty excited to just get people stuck in biscuit gloves. That's pretty great.
Nice. I'm super lame. I don't remember the cool stuff that I get. I feel like at some point I had gotten something that screamed, but I don't remember what it was. So yeah.
You just remember that it screamed?
I just remember that it was an item that was supposed to be useful, but whenever you try to use it, it would just scream.
Oh.
Was it Tabitha?
Wait,
Was it Tabitha?
Okay, if you had an alignment in real life, what would it be?
Mine would definitely be chaotic neutral.
Oh, okay.
Neutral because I can never decide what's good and what's bad, even while I'm doing it. Like, I don't know who it benefits and who it harms, and sometimes I don't care. But chaotic because there's no logic behind the things that I do sometimes, so chaotic.
Yeah, I feel like I would be neutral good. Which, no, you know what? I'm proud of it. I'm embracing it. Neutral good is the best one. I just decided.
But now I want to say lawful evil, just so that we've got somebody on all of the factions of the board. Like, and I mean, if I was an evil, I would be lawful evil, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
That being said, in real life, I think I'm lawful neutral. I like my rules and regulations, and I like everybody to stick to them.
That's fair.
Friends, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yay.
If you had to date one of your characters, who would you pick?
Oh man.
I think it would have to be Guntherda. We'd be in a very awkward little pair. What?
Who would be shorter?
Guntherda would be shorter, which would also be an adjustment for me, just in hanging out with someone who's shorter than me, forgetting about the romantic aspect. That'd just be a little strange. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Hotchro's a robot.
Yeah.
You can date a robot.
If
you wanted.
Yes, I could. Yeah, it might be a toss-up between Hotchro and Guntherda. Irina's a child. Carrot is pretty much a child.
In the head.
In the head. How about you, Brett?
I mean, all my characters are women, and I'm very gay. So,
none of them.
So yeah. I played a half-elf bard for a one-shot once. I don't even remember his name. It might have been Dorian, I think. But
all right.
Anyway, so I guess Dorian.
One night stand maybe with Dorian.
Yeah.
Not Flatno,
No, God, no, he was an octogenarian. That's no, I'm not going there.
Right. I don't remember any of my one-shot characters because I've played some one-shots and sometimes you're just like handed a sheet and you know you don't really like do a background. So I guess the two main ones I get to choose from are Anarchist or Jane, which are both two very like tall, muscular females. And the thing with Anarchist is that she's incredibly boring. The thing with Jane is that she's not very talkative. And also like only likes meat. And I feel like Jane would be really mean to me. Which I don't know. Maybe I could live with that. Maybe I want someone who's gonna be mean to me.
I'm very protective of Jane. She's Guntherda's best friend. And I think she has a very good heart.
So how about I'll date Jane and then I'll go on double dates together.
Yeah, that'd be cute. With
my
Guntherda and or Hotchro.
And the guy who's named probably Dorian.
Yes.
Probably Dorian.
We got ourselves a party.
Yeah.
Is there a character you want to play but haven't had the chance to play yet?
A character?
Or yeah, I mean, I guess any combination of, like, I still haven't played a bard, and that's.
Yeah, I've wanted to play a goblin druid for a little while now. Like that would probably be my next choice.
That's fun.
Yeah, a little gruesome little bog witch, you know?
Yeah, I think in general I would just like to be some kind of caster, because I think I've played a lot of like just brute types.
Yeah.
So just any caster, anybody that casts is fine with me.
Nice. Yeah, definitely a bard for me. Are you a dice goblin or a dice minimalist?
So so a lot of dice, you hoard dice, or you only have one set?
Yeah, or you're just particular about, you know, like I am definitely a dice minimalist. I don't have too many sets, but all of them are like really nice ones that I'm like, I must have it. I must have this one. Like I really like metal dice. I prefer them to plastic dice, so those are more expensive. So I only have a couple sets. And I like dice that are strange sizes. So I have a little dice, and I like also big chunky boys. But yeah, I feel like I just said I was a minimalist, and then I'm like, and these are all the different kinds of dice I like.
Yeah, these are all the different batches that I have.
Yeah, but we're compared to most people, I'm
I'm not sure where I fit, because I started playing D&D and then through, like, you know, was like gifted a bunch of dice or picked up a set here or there kind of thing, and sort of ended up with dice goblin horde, even though I like didn't select them for myself. You know, I'm kind of a dice pragmatist. It's sort of like an if it rolls, give it to me. And yeah.
All right.
You have quite the collection of minis, I feel like.
Minis, I'm a goblin. I will take any mini. Any mini. I don't care what it is. I like minis. They give me joy. I'll take the minis.
You do have a lot of them. Do you paint them? You paint them, right?
Some of them, yeah. The ones in my big box are mostly pre-painted ones because I don't have the time or the interest. But yeah, every once in a while I'll pick up one for a character or a monster I particularly like, and yeah.
I miss those. For me, I think I started off as wanting to be a dice goblin, and then I realized how ambitious that was and how much money it would cost me. So I think I just bought like a couple of sets where I kind of really enjoyed the color, and then I stopped because I was just like, I can't go down this road. I already waste money on so many other things in life.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, the last question. What rule or mechanic have you never quite wrapped your brain around? All of them. I'm
right.
I am, it takes me a long while to like really get a grasp of the mechanics. I'm always the one asking questions.
I am not even ashamed to say it, but I'm still that player. I've gotten better. I can like figure it out by myself now, but I'm that player who will fucking roll a d20 and then I'll be like, okay. And then where's my modifier? Which one do I use? And then like I just go through all over my sheet and it's like, great, okay, I figured out that I passed this. Now which weapon am I using? Which die is for this weapon? Where's the modifier? Like I'm literally that person. So
I think the closest thing I have, because I know the game quite well, so the closest I have is I think because I've played through like 3rd through 5th edition, and the system, the process in which a character dies changed fairly drastically between editions, kind of thing. So now it's like I remember it, but it takes me a second to go, wait, what happens in the, oh yeah, death saving throws are a thing now, you know, like, oh yeah, we don't like, you know, fall to to like, it used to be you had to fall to minus 10 hit points before you died, or minus your constitution score, or minus your max HP, depending on whether you were doing Pathfinder or 4th edition or whatever, you know. So it was, anyway, so yeah, that just, it takes me a sec to jolt my memory and be like, oh yeah, right, this is how we die.
Right. I think I also get confused. Brett's like, you're never playing with me ever again.
Oh, please.
Imagine. But I also get confused between like how some are just actions like that you can do during an encounter, like actions that anybody can use, or some are just like skills that belong to me. Like sometimes I get confused about that. I was like, I want to bull rush, but can I bull rush? Is this part of my skill set, or is this something that people can just do? So yeah.
I mean, we remember our character sheets, so that makes us Brett's favorite player, right?
I wasn't gonna throw shade, but yes, like, y'all are my favorite players because I never had to remake your character sheets from scratch the day of the game.
I mean, I need it so much because I'm like so lost all the time. I try really hard not to be.
So I imagine that because you need it so much, you keep track of it and know where it is at all times.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes I forget about Jane's history, so.
I will just say that I am glad we are playing D&D in an age where we have the internet in our pockets.
And we're glad that we're able to write a series about D&D.
Yes,
yeah. Yeah, no one would have given 2 shits about this like 10 years ago. At least that was my high school experience, like playing from the age of, 10 or 12 when it was embarrassing to tell somebody that you liked D&D and you got strange looks. And now, like, if you whisper D&D, everybody vaults it. You go, I want to play. I've always wanted to play. Can I try? Like,
yeah,
it's great.
Like, being a geek is in now. Like, who knew all the things that I liked would be cool today? I feel like I made a really good investment in my childhood.
Well, on that note, that completes the D&D tag. Thank you very much to Ginny D for creating this this fun little thing. And if you haven't already, please check out Dungeons and Distancing. Smash that like button, as the kids say, and the subscribe button. Notifications, did they do something? I still don't know. There's that little bell you click on. Thanks for I didn't think of a cool sign out thing to say. Anybody?
Should we do the reverse of how we signed in?
Goodbye. We did see you there.